When you're trying to solve a Wordle puzzle, do you assiduously look through the letters, trying to identify the ones you haven't selected to see if they are in the final solution? That's a decent strategy to start with. But if you spend so much time zeroing in on those letters you haven't selected yet, you may miss the obvious solution. Stick around while I explain using two different examples of the same common mistake, not recognizing doubles. Hey guys, I'm Mary Schaefer from AP Now, back with another Wordle video. So let's get started. Why do I make such a big deal about this? Well, if you don't recognize this issue, you may take longer to win each hand, or in a few examples, in a few cases, gasp, you might actually lose the hand. Okay, so let's get started with the first example. Let's dive right in. This was an example from this past week if you're watching this when this was first released. So that's a little clue there. All right, so I start with one of my favorite words, my favorite starting word, which is stare, S-T-A-R-E. I like it because it uses some of the more popular letters in the alphabet, and it gets rid of the two most commonly used vowels. So I looked out with stare a little bit. I got two letters, which is, pretty good. The S is in the solution, but we don't know where, and the A is in the solution and in the middle spot. So that was a really good choice. All right, so I'm going to move on, and I'm going to try and find some more letters. Two letters, at least for me, usually isn't enough to solve the puzzle. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I posted the next two rounds at the same time because I got none of the letters. I picked the words chimp and wound. And this takes care of all the vowels and some of the more common consonants, but in this case, they weren't good choices. So I'm going into round 4 with two letters. So I've thought about it a little bit, and I want to use the letters B and L. I want them because I think there's a chance that they'll be in the final solution. So I look and I look and I look, and I start with BL, and then we know A must be in the third position. I don't want S to be in the last position because I know that Wordle doesn't seem to like plurals. Now, I know S can be in the last position and not be a plural, but for now, I'm going to try BLAS. And then the only thing that I can come up with is blast. I know I've already used the T, but I don't have all day. So anyway, I put blast in, and I lucked out in that I now know that the three middle letters are LAS. So I just have to figure out what the first letter is and what the last letter is. And after thinking about it a little bit, I realized that if we put a G in the beginning, that's likely to be the solution. And I was right. Glass was the right answer. And again, this is a case where there's a double letter, and in this case, a double consonant, and it's a double S, which is, a little bit rare. But I kind of got a chuckle because if you've seen some of my other Wordle videos, I always use glass as an example. But I didn't get to it right away, but I did get to it. Okay, so that's example number 1. Before we get to the second variation, if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. And if you loved it, please subscribe. We produce new content for the channel 3 times a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays are devoted to payment and accounts payable issues, and Saturdays are reserved for Wordle. And I want to tell you, I'm really excited to share with you that on Thursday in the upcoming week, we have a very special presentation for all you Wordle and Excel lovers out there. So please check back then. Or if you're watching after May, look in the show notes and I'll post a link to it in the show notes below after we tape and release it. Okay, let's go on to the second example. This is from the beginning days back in January. And in this case, I was using the word tears before I realized that Wordle didn't like duplicates, plurals, and that, tears, I'm not crazy about tears. I like stare better. But anyway, so I used tears, and we see right away that I got two letters, a T and an R, but neither of them are in the right spot. So I'm focused on vowels at this point. And we see here that I put the word point in, and I was lucky in that I found an O, and I found that the O is in the first position and the T is in the last position. So I have to now try and figure out where the R goes and what the last two letters are. So I start out and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to put the R in the first position. I'm going to put the O. I want to see if there's another vowel. So if I can get the U, see if there's, or if it's just the O. So I have R-O-U-N, and of course, you can probably figure it out. I guess it's round next. And what I found out was that the R and the O are in the first position, and the T is in the last position. So now I have to think what can come next, and I'm really not sure, but I know that I want to try and focus on the letters B and L. So I think about it, and even though I know this will not be the right solution, I put BL in the first position, and then I come up with blame, BLAME. What that does is it's giving me 3 more letters to see if I can identify. And I lucked out. The B was one of the letters. So now I know I have RO dash dash T, and the B can either be in the 3rd or the 4th position. It doesn't seem like it's going to work so well in the 4th position, so I try it in the 3rd. So I have ROB, think things dash T, and it doesn't take much for me to come up with the word, my next guess, which was robot. And of course, that was the correct solution. And in this case, we had a double consonant, a double vowel, I'm sorry, and not together, but still used twice, okay? So that was my next example. Do you have any other double examples that you want to share with other Wordle players? Please share them in the comments below. Want to learn more about Wordle expert strategies? You can watch right now using the link that will appear momentarily on YouTube and is in the show notes below. Good luck and happy Wordling.